A little music intro, maybe? Huh? Think would be nice? Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wizards Within. I'm Sprinkles Nixon, and my friend and my co-conspirator and my buddy, Jan King. Jan, there.
No, I'm hiding really.
No hiding.
I'm hiding because Mercury's retrograde.
Oh, well, you don't have to hide. Use it to your advantage.
And what is the advantage?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch you. You got to talk a little louder. I don't know why I'm not getting you.
I'm screaming. I'm talking very loud. And
Okay,
my is up. Can you hear me?
uh, try again, please.
Hey, Sprinkles.
Hey,
Me.
is that you again?
No, it's my shadow.
Ah, okay. Whoever joins in the chat needs to press the button above so they can hear us.
Okay.
And I'm getting a weird sound, and I don't know what it's from.
I don't hear anything. I do that.
You can't hear it?
Other than you, no.
Okay, the song's over. Hello.
I'm here. Are you celebrating the moon?
A- am I what?
Celebrating the new moon.
Am I? Yes, yes. And it's really like crazy.
And crazy, you think? Too?
Hold on, it's my mic. Hold on.
Yes, I can. She said before that she's not hearing you. Do I have to? I just found out something before I say anything. I put it in my blog. I just happened to run into someone pretty much young, and I don't do a lot of stuff uh, like this. But have you heard of streaking on Snapchat? Heard of that you can streak on the Snapchat streak? Do you know how to do that? Well, why not? because this because this young woman, probably I would say maybe 14 or 15, uh, was in my company for a couple minutes, and I said, "Are you one of those that are texting all the time?" I said, "I don't see you texting right now," and I said, "That's because your mother's here." But I said, "So are you one of those that text a lot?" And she goes, "Well, right now there's something called streaking." And I go, "Streaking? What is that?" She says, "Well, you send a picture, and then you could do this for a couple days. You keep talking about this picture, and I don't know the whole story, but it's on Snapchat, and it's called streaking, and it keeps going and going, and people get you know coming into it, and probably talking and texting, and it could go on for days." I just thought that was okay. Are you kidding me? It's not that kind of streaking. No, it's not. It's called Snapchat chat streak, which is no streaking. No, has nothing to do with it. How old you are? I'm not admitting to it. Okay. Okay. First of all, new moon in Pisces shows up yesterday, and Pisces is of course spiritual the most, and has a kind of, what should I say, intuitive, sort of rules the intuitive side, the spiritual side. And right now, I feel like it's with Mercury within a couple degrees in Pisces, and that means there's a kind of it doesn't come up this time. So a lot of times I say new moon is about projects, about intentions, put them out there. But a lot of times with the new moon also, there's things called baggage that is still hanging around. So because Mercury's with it now, I'm saying again, it's a good time to let go of things that aren't important to you anymore. Seriously, I've been saying this for many years. Blog, on radio shows I've done in the past, and I don't see it happening. A lot of people are still holding on so tightly to the past. I mean, to grudges and judgments and anything negative. And how do you go on with this kind of stuff if you have good intentions to put out there, and you want to create something good in your life, and maybe you have this grand plan or this project. So I don't see how one can move forward, because if the baggage comes up, it's going to throw you backwards again. And the baggage comes up, which is good as long as you're getting rid of it and not just dancing in it. Uh, I think the new moon this time is good for revamping everything that you want to put out there. You can move forward with it with the new moon, even though there's Mercury's retrograde. But I feel like if you're not going to let go of that other stuff that's keeping you from taking that leap, then what's the point?
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, uh, also it's conjunct, meaning it's within a degree or so of right with the fixed star Fomalhaut. And Fomalhaut is a very spiritual royal star, and it could bring really good things, or it could be very ugly. Okay, and the ugly comes from the baggage. So you don't want that to happen. So you want to stay in that moment of being in your power. And later on in the show, I believe we're talking about something about loving and knowing ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So this is about this royal star is about staying in your power, and you can't be in your power if you don't love yourself. So that's for later. But right now, um, it's asking you if you want to, can you take what you have materially and bring it more to a spiritual side? That's
Yes.
part of this whole kind of thing. And I hear so much out there. Oh, I have to do this. I have to shop. I have to buy this. I have to go here. I have to go there. Stop. Okay. How many times do you have to do that? How many times have you taken a break from doing all this out societal stuff, the materialism and all that, whatever's going on? How many times can you just take a breath and say, hey, I need to take the time for me so that I can take this new moon energy and walk forward? Not everybody is going to do it. In fact, I'd say a good portion aren't because they're not paying attention. And that's what I find. It makes it interesting to see why you wouldn't want to do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just my take on it. And I feel that along with this, the new moon also is in a grand trine, which means it's 120 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
It's sextile. The new moon is sextile Mars in Capricorn and Uranus in Taurus, which means that it sets a good, what should I say, um, bottom line for you to, for one forward, and also to bring more flow of whatever you want to do.
Yes.
So in the meantime, with this trine and the sextile, the two sextiles, and then it becomes a trine to the new moon. It's almost like there's something unexpected that come out of it because of Uranus, and I feel like there's it is. I said it was a grand trine. It isn't a grand trine, but there is a trine because of the Uranus and Mars is trine, which is very good, and it just keeps things interesting, but also unexpected in a very nice way.
Mm-hmm.
So something good in the next couple of weeks can show up that you don't even think about. You'll be focusing on one thing, and all of a sudden something great comes in.
Yes.
I'm not saying it has to, but it does. If you allow it, if you're in this good place, you'll see something interesting happen, or an insight comes to you, or somebody shows up that you didn't expect, or even just, who knows, it could be anything, but it's positive. As long as you stay in that positive venue.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it's also a time to bring about more compassion and helping others who really need your help.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that is really ongoing right now because Jupiter and Neptune are in good aspect to each other, and that goes on for a while, probably for a few months. So good things can come of this. It's fascinating because with Mercury retrograde, you never think about that.
Right. Right.
Okay, so it's basically. I'll just say a couple of things about Mercury retrograde, and then if you have anything, if you want to, you can talk about a couple of things that are going on. Um, but I feel that with Mercury retrograde right now,
Mm-hmm.
otherwise, in bottom line, there's not a lot of things happening. Okay, like usually there's the full moon brings a lot of things in, but the new moon right now is saying stay in that place of spirituality, stay in that, bring your intuition to the and pay attention to what shows up when you're just being instead of going jumping on everybody's bandwagon.
Uh-huh.
Okay, it's a good time just to be in right now and take a breath and because the energy is saying we're going to help you. It's going to help you move forward if you want to your goals.
Yes.
It may not be instant because Mercury's retrograde, but the thing is, a lot of things that you could take a look, revise. Maybe there's something you want to do. You have a big intention, but there's something you're not sure of. So now's the time to just take a look at it and revise and regroup and say, hey, I maybe if I change this, this will flow better. Or if I look at it this way, something interesting can come of it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So right now, the only thing I say with the Mercury retrograde, and I'm not saying you can't do this, but it's because Mercury's communication, there can be electronic stuff. Don't buy anything electronic right now. Do not.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't change anything when it comes to, as far as signing papers that are very important, making decisions that changes something. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could change your cell phone carrier. No, I wouldn't.
No.
I'd wait.
No,
you know what
no.
I'm saying? Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It has to do with communication or electronics.
Yes.
Okay, and I'd say don't even buy a car if you don't have to.
Yeah, and don't get married either yet. Put it off.
Oh, don't get married?
Yes. Not now.
Why wouldn't you get married?
Well, because Mercury's retrograde.
No, there's nothing. No, it wouldn't have anything to do with it. Unless it's in negative aspect to something in your chart that it would. If it's in the marriage house.
Yes.
You might have to change something.
Yes.
Drastically.
Yes.
But if it's not in the marriage house, then it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
And the marriage house is that 7th house, right?
What's that? Yes, the 7th house. Yes.
Okay.
So if it's going through your 7th house right now, don't get married.
What about going into partnerships?
What's that? It's partnerships, but it's marriage and business partnerships. So I wouldn't go jump into a new business or sign a contract with a new business right now. If it's in the 7th house, it's going through your 7th house.
Yes.
Backwards.
Yes.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Yes.
So, but there's other things, and a lot of times with this new moon too, and Mercury retrograde, you want to, like I said, you could change some old habits. Look at what you do in your life and how you approach it.
Yes.
And maybe you want to change something because you might be stuck in a rut, or maybe because something you're doing isn't getting you the results you choose to have.
Right. Well, I kind of can resonate with everything you've just put out there. And when you spoke of Uranus about doing something new and different, it was like, okay, I'm going to try this anyway. Because, I like to have fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I changed around the drawing event to where it's doing spin the wheel. And that just came at me, and I go, oh, that sounds like it might be fun, where we can have others come and join us and watch the spinner spin to pick a new person to have a free reading. So, I mean, like that was out of the blue, and I just didn't know where it came from, but I started looking up all these programs for spin the wheel kind of thing. And so I found one, and it seems to be working pretty good. But does Uranus have something to do with games and that kind of thing?
Say that again?
Does Uranus have anything to do with games and sorts? Because I think that's what hit me was Uranus. Because I want to do something different. I want to make something be fun and informative and all that other kind of stuff, right? So you had spoke about Uranus might come in with the Pisces new moon, make us do something that we did on a spur of the moment again. I'm always spur of the moment. I don't get that.
You're always spur of the moment?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
You must have something interesting in your chart then.
I know.
Well, the thing is, because is the unexpected. It's the far-seeing. It's you know, the visionary.
Yes.
I mean, because it rules Aquarius, so Aquarians are usually out there and doing their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but also doing things that are beyond what you usually see in everyday life, because they're already beyond that. They've gone past it, way past it. But Uranus is more like it, it's not a, I wouldn't say a disruptor, but it's like it just likes to come in and just shakes things up a little bit. It doesn't have to be negative. Things can be shook up in a positive way.
Yes.
Because all of a sudden you see something and you think, how come I didn't see that before?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying with the new moon. It's in good aspect, so it's just saying, and it's trying to Mars, so that means, wow, something really good can happen if you let it.
Yes. Yes. Well, I was hoping, and I think I let it.
So it's also with the Pisces new moon and with the Mercury retrograde. The Mercury retrograde is just part of it. It's not, but the new moon itself is saying it's about your psychicness, your sensitive,
Yes.
how sensitive you are to what's out there. Can you pull it in?
Mm-hmm.
But it's also about addiction. Okay, so Pisces is very much into addictions.
Yeah.
But it's also into imagination,
Mm-hmm.
and also the joy within your heart. Okay?
Yes.
So
yes.
the thing that I said in my blog too is that you could put, why don't you, those who are trying to get something going, maybe you could write, I wish to do something on a daily basis, or I wish to have support of the angels in certain things, or you could do a lot of things.
Yes.
If you want to write it down as an affirmation. I'm not a big one on affirmations, but I think it's good to have that theory in your head. Like if you say, hey, I'm gonna do this on a daily basis. I'm gonna work on this project daily, even if it's 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a difference. Okay?
Yes.
Because soon it'll become 10 minutes and 30 minutes and maybe even an hour. And maybe sometimes it'll be you're so involved you get the project done.
Yes. Yes. And I do feel that too. I have a Pisces ascendant, and it seems like I want to get out there and share so much. I want to be of help, and I want to learn, and I want to share. And it's with this.
That's not Pisces.
That's not Pisces? Huh.
Pisces within. You could share, yes. Sharing is Pisces. Sharing is helping, but it's also about pulling in the inner knowledge, that inner wisdom.
Yes.
The dream, the creativeness.
Yes.
Taking that dream and making it a creative, bring it out to the world.
Yes. One big happy family.
What's that?
One big happy family.
Yes.
Yes.
But Pisces is truly will sacrifice too.
Yes.
Whether they want to or not sometimes.
Yes.
I feel that their ideas they come from beyond most of the time. They know how to, Pisces, particularly sun sign and moon sign. Now you're Pisces rising. Well, that would mean that you come across as somebody that's very spiritual, very with it. You have intuition. You're able to pull it in.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But that's how people see you, and that's how you what energy you give off to others.
Yes. And it's done more through I can't even say the word, spirituality. And it comes with being of help, or doing the best that you can to be of help.
Right. But
Right.
It's not your sun sign, and it's not the core being. It's just who you come across as and how you want to be out there in the world.
Right.
Okay, because I don't have anything in Pisces, nothing. I have it in my 10th house, and
Oh.
so therefore it's there as a, been there, done that, or something.
Uh-huh.
It's just present.
Okay.
Okay, but and I'm not saying, I'm saying that in a very humble way because I don't even think about it, and sometimes it comes to me, but
Yes.
there are other times when nothing happens.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
it's like it just exists. Okay,
Okay,
whereas
so it's
you're
always on, is what you're saying, where
what's that?
it
Say that again.
so it's always on, and
Yes,
the
yes,
other one is it'll turn it on. Is that right?
yes.
Okay, got it.
But I mean, as far as a Pisces, like because of your Pisces rising, I feel like it depends on what you have, aspecting it in your chart. Is there something else, like your sun sign is probably sextile, which means it's in you're in tune with who you are and how others see you. Okay,
Mhm. Mhm.
so that's what I'm seeing that as. So it's um, kind of cohesive, mixed. So it's easy to do this without even trying.
Yes. So
All right.
with the Mercury retrograde, is that a more powerful pronouncement of it? Its
That
influences?
the thing is, Mercury retrograde. I know where your Mercury retrograde went retrograde right on your rising sign.
Oh, oh boy. Does that mean I'm going to be making changes too? Where's Uranus? Uranus is in Capricorn, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Good grief. Well,
And
I
it just
have.
it just came to me that, oh my gosh, I think it went retrograde right on your rising sign. Oh yes, it did. And I didn't even look it up because I remember where your rising sign is, and I think, oh wow.
Yeah, it's like things are kind of like coming to me, and like it's almost like putting pieces to the puzzle together, but you found this piece and you're like, aha! Hmm. So yes, yes, and the new moon is good to get something started here, for good, or it might even be bad. Don't know yet because I
Hmm.
started something new and I'm hoping it's going to take off. Uh, so
You're always starting something new.
I know. But you see, I met you because you're going to help me out here. You're going to help me get through whatever these changes I'm bringing about.
I am.
Yes, you are. Oh, yes, you are. Yes, you are. Because you have um, a detail in where you have different things and different ways that you work on things, and I've seen this, and how you want to come and bring it out. I mean, even in your astrology, you work with the uh, different, like Chiron and all those other
Oh yeah,
planetary
Chiron,
things.
Chiron.
Chiron. Okay, so yeah, see, so that's brand new to me. So I like to listen to you when you do your astrology input here because I'm learning as we're going. And well, first of all, I want to thank you for that. But with you make it easier for me. But then again, I have astrology interests, and when you do, you can kind of put these pieces together that you're providing for us to see and make sure that we can see how it's working so we can make our own decisions.
Well, Chiron right now is, let me see where it is. It's in Aries.
In Aries,
Hmm.
that's where my moon is.
Okay. It looks like it's like 3 degrees Aries right now. For a while it'll be there.
Oh, well, it hasn't touched my moon yet. So
What's your moon? Where's your moon right now?
27 in Aries.
27.
Yeah, it's
Oh, it won't be there for a while.
yeah,
It's no. Mm-mm. No,
yeah.
so if you have anything, but it's not, it's in, let's see, it's squaring your sun.
Is it?
Hmm. So if it hasn't happened yet, or it's just about to, uh, it looks like it's something. Just keep this in mind, okay?
Okay.
Because old wounds can come up,
Oh.
and they would come up for healing. So if there's something that comes up, it could be any kind of wound. It could be somebody said something to you a long time ago, you forgot about, it, and then it comes out again, and you think, well, what happened with that? No.
Uh,
So you have to keep that in mind that if something shows up that, and this has nothing to do with the new moon.
mm,
This is totally outside of the new moon. Um, Chiron in where it is right now. I don't think it's right. It's square your sun, I think, but it's not
mm,
exact. So it something may show up, and it's not bad. It's just the fact that it wants you to heal
mm.
something.
Hmm. Well, I don't know what that is yet, but
Well, and who knows? Maybe it won't even. Maybe you've already done this, and it's just going to remind you, because
yes,
that's what a lot of times that's what happens. You get reminded,
yes.
and
Hmm.
you have to keep yourself calm.
Well, I do. If it's something to where I myself have to heal with, I do stay
Hmm.
calm because I and I meditate on it. And I meditated on everything. So, uh, speaking of that, do you have more on the new moon?
There's
So,
nothing. There's nothing else that really is important,
okay.
um, as far as I can tell. I just feel like uh, it's a kind of thing that's pretty positive. Okay, more so than most times, uh, because of it just is.
Mm-hmm.
And so I say, take advantage of the good energy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, not everybody's going to feel good about it because there's always something going on. But the thing is, if you can just stay in that moment instead of projecting yourself out to 20 years from now, or 10 years from now, or even 2 days from now,
Mm-hmm.
stay right here in that energy. And if it doesn't feel good, then what can you change to make it feel good?
Mm-hmm. Right. Huh. Well, I'm definitely going to be thinking on that tonight. That's for sure. Okay, so let's go on to the topic of a journey to knowing and loving ourselves.
Okay. Why don't you start?
Oh, okay, all
Okay.
right,
Now, go on. I'm just going to say one thing. In order to love yourself, you have to know yourself,
yes, oh,
right?
right,
Okay.
and okay, so let me start off. At the age
Okay.
at the age of 6, I had a near-death experience. So, I mean, that made my whole childhood kind of frustrating, challenging, and uh, uh, feelings of guilt and everything kind of went on during that time until and I was still picking up a lot of things from people, and I had no control over that. Do you know what I mean? I
Mm-hmm.
it was it was, do I or don't I? Do I tell them? Do I don't tell them? And but younger, I had no way of controlling. Okay, so I had to learn to control it. And I had a mentor that stepped up and she helped me an awful lot. Matter of fact, she was an astrologer as well. And she helped me to learn to control it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't really until about maybe 18, 19, around there. And that's when she had stepped into my life because even before that, I was reading for family and friends. Okay, and it was
Mm-hmm.
some of the times it spooked them. It spooked a lot of people, especially ones that didn't know me. So I had to find out a way how to go about this. So I had my cards read, and I knew what the cards were saying. Okay, I knew it before she
Mm-hmm.
even spoke to me. So that got me into learning the cards because I seen that she had quite a few people there, which she was very, very good. And I was wondering how does she control this, And
Mm-hmm.
I spoke with my mentor, and she was helping me as well. And meditation has an awful lot to do with everything. With everything, you need to meditate. You need to go within so that you can discover yourself. But she also introduced me to the astrology, and so did my husband. At that time, it was really weird because my husband was taking astrology classes, okay, and he would take a tape recorder and tape the classes and bring them home to me so that I could learn it. So at that time, I learned so much about me in the astrology. Okay, I I could see myself all in there, except for like the slower moving planets, but they didn't take effect until something hit it, right? So all that kind of like helped me too. And then I wanted to uh, I started reading more and more. And in 1985, I started reading for others outside of friends and family. And that was kind of like spooky too, but there was so much I still needed to learn about control. Okay, when to open up, when to shut down, and how to do it. How do you do that? And I was also studying the tarot cards, and with the tarot cards, um, I have so many journals. I still have them. This is years back. So how many years is that? 45 years ago, when I was using the tarot cards, and I had to meditate on each of the cards. This is what my mentor made me do. Well, she didn't make me, but this is what she was teaching me. For every card that is in the deck, I had to focus on it, and I had to put in my journal everything I was getting from it, the feelings, what I saw, if I saw anything, that kind of thing. And it really, really helped because I was making the cards my own. Okay, I wasn't going by the direction book or the instructions of or interpretations of the cards. I had to make it my own. Okay, for me to do what I was doing, I had to make them my own because I really got very frustrated with some of the instructions or the interpretations because I wasn't getting that when I see the card. Do you know what I mean? So that was a long process for me to kind of get in there and give it my own touch. And I also took up the palmistry. This journey that I was on, each step helped me and helped me enhance more of my ability. It doesn't happen overnight. Even though I was picking up things and everything else, there's certain things that need to be done and taken place so that you can do it to the best of your ability and through your faith and making sure that it's of help. Okay, if and then leave it up to them. Okay, so through that journey, I also I mean, it was like a hunger for knowledge. Okay, I'm learning the tarot cards. I'm learning the astrology. Okay, and then I'm learning palmistry. Now, the thing with palmistry is I can touch somebody's hand, and when I'm looking at the hand, I can put my finger on them and follow this line, and boom, these things would pop in my head. Okay, now I don't know if uh, other palmistry readers do that, but I get so much more when I'm actually touching the line, if that makes sense. And this is something else that I learned. Um, so it takes years and years to kind of get it done. And I've been reading for 45 years now, and well, longer than that. It would be 62 years if I started from the age of 6. But for 45 years now, and it's like I really don't need to go to my journals anymore. I know what that card means. I know what that line means. I know what I'm getting from it. And you know what? Even then, I learned that even though the interpretation says this, like some of the cards are supposed to describe a person. Okay, like the Queen of Cups. She may have curly blonde hair, and I would get no. She's got curly brown hair. Okay, so because it opened you up more and more, and the best thing to do is to constantly do readings. The more you do, oh, you hear my dog? Aw. Uh, the more you do, the better you get. And boy, was I doing a lot.
Is your dog singing?
I think so. Stop that. Be nice.
He didn't like what you were saying.
I no, he's crying because I did all this work. But anyway, so it's a process. And you know what? I didn't start to like myself until I started knowing more about myself.
Hmm.
You know, because
Did you love yourself in the beginning when you were a child and when you were growing up and everything? Did you love
no,
yourself?
no, that was a definite no. That was a definite no because I always felt like I was picked out, if you will. Do you know what I mean? Anything that's going on, it was like they were going to pick me. uh,
Oh yeah, I know. I feel the same. Yeah, I agree.
yeah,
Yeah, that's how I was.
and
Yeah.
I just that's kid stuff, and but it was very, very frustrating for me. uh, and very hurtful too at times. So I didn't like me because why do I? How come I? I had all these questions always going on in my head.
Hmm.
So but when I came to learn more about myself, and what I can do and how I can help others. Okay, instead of others, backing away from me and you know, maybe saying things about me or whatever. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. Yes. Hmm.
This brought me more to something that was very, very positive, and um, and I had from the very beginning when I learned more about myself was to say that if I cannot help others, I will stop this. Okay, I will stop
Mm-hmm.
doing the readings. I will start doing the palms. I will stop looking into the astrology, all that stuff. And I have never had a bad reading. I really didn't. Never had one. And to me, that's a sign that I should continue because I do help others. I want to help others. And there was all different things that were taking place. And I'm looking even now into more stuff. And it's funny how certain things now are popping up that are different. For instance, there's a lot of people getting into the uh, what's that language again? Uh,
What language?
the where they sing or they hum or
I don't know.
Peg does it.
I'm not sure.
Peg does it. Okay. Well, that and then I just learned about something else, which is emotional codes, and I'm hoping you're going to teach me a little bit on the ends of. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I got this hunger for knowledge, and then I want to share it. I want to share it as much as I can, and I want to share. Things. So my journey is there, and my journey and my purpose for life is to be of help to others. No, regardless of wherever I am or however it takes place. My purpose is to be of help to others and enjoy it, and I do. What about you? Time for yours.
What about me?
Yes,
Where's your north node?
my north node.
Your north node.
My north node is in Aquarius.
Okay. Do you know what that means?
That means eccentric.
Well, the north node, I guess it's, what should I say? In Aquarius is
Yes.
more like, uh, you're different than anybody else. You're doing something on a different level.
Yes.
Okay. It's a sign of individuality. Okay. And what's your soul path? It would be more like I don't know. It's different than anybody else's. It's spiritual. It's very spiritual, individual, innovative, that kind of stuff,
Yes.
and unconventional.
Oh, yes. Hmm.
So basically, you're doing it because you're always on the computer.
Um. Yes.
It's
Yes.
also about astrology. It's also about physics. It's about revolution. It's
Yes.
about computer technology. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's four things that I said it's about.
Yes. I totally agree because I am always on the internet. I'm always searching for something to.
And
So
it's not even about searching, it's about doing it like a tech. You're always doing technical work, technology on the computer.
yes.
That's Aquarius, totally.
Oh. Interesting. Interesting. So, am I gonna do good?
I don't, I don't know.
Okay. You see, you just switched it. you you just switched it back to me. Now you're gonna go and tell us about your journey to knowing and loving yourself.
Oh, wonderful.
Uh,
Well, I'll tell you what. My childhood was like very strange. I had uh, chronic nightmares. Chronic, not
oh.
not in the sense of periodically, but I'm talking about probably every once or twice, at least once or twice a week, the same nightmare, and it went
Huh.
on for a long, long time. And I
Wow.
would call my mom, I would call my dad, my mom, and sometimes my mom would come and sleep with me, and then there were other times my dad would come and just lay on the floor beside my bed until I calmed down, and then you go back to bed. Um, so that went on forever,
Hmm.
and it was the same dream all the time. And I thought, well, and I blew it off after a while because it didn't happen then when I was because I was probably too involved and with schoolwork and all that kind of stuff. I was exhausted, so it didn't come. But this is what between the age of like probably 3 and 8 or 9.
Wow.
Yeah, not all. No, the older I got, the less it got. But the first, like between 3 and 6, big time,
Mm.
all the time. So then to go from that, I'll just push it forward. Uh, when I, what should I say? It never showed up again, and then I started to think about it, and I'll put that on hold for a minute, and then I'll get to come back to it. So then I was going through college, and I always put this somewhere when I'm writing about myself, just a brief description. Astrology, I knew nothing about it, but my dear mother, who, don't ask me how or where she learned astrology, she didn't know it. She was very psychic, intuitive, whatever you want to call it, and she said I used to get in trouble because I didn't say anything, and she would just say, you need to go to your room. And I go, why? She goes, just because. I didn't say anything. I wasn't even thinking anything, and she knew what I was going to think or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. She read me like a book. So anyway, so beyond that, so I go to college. I'm in college. I'm almost a senior, and I come home one day, and she gives me a book. And I said, what is this? And she goes, you need to understand people, but first of all, you need to know yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay, and when do I have time to do this? She says, take the book and start looking at it. And I didn't. I looked at it, I said, it's all underlined. It's underlined, it has people's names as to family names, as far as who uses what, and blah, blah, blah. It's a thick book. I don't even know which one it is. I have it someplace in my books here, but I haven't seen it for a long time. It's probably, or it could be in a box. I don't know. Uh, but anyway, there I was, getting out of college, working, and then got married. One day when I'm living away from in New England, I'm there. I was bored, not bored, but just like I wasn't working. My husband was in the service, and I'm thinking I got to do something. So I pulled this book out. I took it with me, and I started reading it, and that was it. My life totally went the other way. Well, believe me, I hit some hard knocks.
Yeah.
Reading this, yes, I could see. Okay, wow, and but that was the beginning of it, and I used to do things by hand.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't start to do that until my kids were. I had a couple kids, and we moved back to the main part of America, not in the territory of Maine, and that's what we used to call the territory. But anyway, I feel like what I learned from astrology, reading that book, and then it triggered my interest big time,
Hmm.
and I never turned back. From the day I guess it was probably, after the kids were little,
Hmm.
and I'm going to go out and look for a job part time and blah blah blah. I'm still reading. I'm still doing charts by hand using logarithms and all
Ah.
kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, are you kidding me? What are you doing this for? And I couldn't stop. It was like I was obsessed with it.
Ah.
It took me, and finally, one day I said, this is ridiculous. So a few years later, um, I still was in it and doing all kinds of stuff on the side, but I wasn't doing anything major with it. I was
Mm.
just doing charts for myself, learning about people and myself,
Mm.
still not loving myself, but on track a little bit. And then one day, years later, I get a call from somebody that said, we're having a little gathering. So I go to this gathering, and there's a chick there that is, is into hypnosis.
Hmm.
So she says to me, she says, you should look into this. I said, this course. And I said, she says, you can become certified in hypnotherapy. I go, why would I want to do that? She goes, well, why don't we just do something, let's do a past life regression for you. And let's see if you would want to do something like this.
Hmm.
So anyway, so I went and visited her, and we did the thing, and then I asked her about, I said, something came up out of it, but then I said something about my dreams, my nightmares. And she says, well, why don't you come again and we'll see if we can find out what that nightmare was about.
Uh-huh.
Or where did that come from? Well, it was very interesting because it, it was a Native American, it was a Native, well, I would say Indian, is a Native American now, and I want to be correct when I say that. So, okay, it was back probably early America,
Wow.
very early America, and sort of fell off a cliff.
Hmm.
And the only thing I ever saw in the nightmare, it was a nightmare, was that there was a Native American type sitting on a horse overlooking this cliff
Wow.
across the way. And that used to be the scene that I would see, this Indian on the horse uh, watching this whole thing happen.
Wow.
So, yeah. Anyway, so I went forward from there and took the hypnotherapy courses and got certified and all that kind of stuff. And then one day my husband says, because I would ask him questions with astrology and all that kind of stuff, and he goes, you want to ever do something else? And I go, well, yeah, as long as it has astrology. And anyway, to complete this whole story, he enrolled me in a course for a year course
Mm-hmm.
without telling me, because I talked about it, and he says, well, just do it. I said, no, I don't think so. I'll just wait to do it. No, he says, you're doing it. I said, no, I don't. He says, you seem to like this, so why don't you do this?
Mm-hmm.
So he signed me up.
Ah, that's good.
And unfortunately, then he passed away. And
Oh.
I and then I had years later, I go, well, I'll be dingoed. I said, there you go. He signed me up. He knew that was what he had to do. He forced me to do this, and then it changed my life.
Ah,
It
see.
changed my life
Mm-hmm.
totally, because
Yeah.
I was out there
Mm-hmm.
learning how to do a lot of holistic health stuff and whatever, and I got certified in various things, including Reiki teaching and all that kind of stuff, and which was beyond that.
Yes.
And
Yes.
but because I kept meeting people and taught workshops through the years, but the astrology was always there.
Yes.
Okay, always.
Well, it
So
should be. It's in everything. I mean, if you think about it, it is
yes,
in all
yes.
the modalities. It deals with
Hmm.
astrology.
And I find that people, I don't push it on anybody anymore, but
Mm.
there's times when people come and I'm meeting somebody new, and they'll tell me their name, and I'll say, "Oh, when's your birthday?" And there are a lot of times I won't remember their names, but I
Huh.
remember their birthdays. If I see them, I go, "Hey, April 12th,
Mm-hmm.
how are you?"
Oh my God.
No, so I'm saying that it isn't everything. Yeah.
Yes.
And how does that, what we were talking about, what you were saying, I didn't start to love myself until I got to work through this whole process. And
Mm-hmm.
I gather that's what happened with you too, that you worked
Yes.
yourself. You finally figured out who you were. And it
Mm-hmm.
took a long, long time for me. It took
Yes.
a long time.
Yes, and that, but you know what gets me is that there's a lot of people out there today, especially if you look on Facebook, there's so many readers popping up there. Okay, and it's like, I can understand if you being born with it or something happening to you that
Uh-huh.
helps you get that way. But it's not an overnight thing. It's like anything else. You need to persevere. You need to keep working at it and working at it and working at it.
Oh
So
yes, absolutely.
yeah,
I there a day doesn't go by. I don't want to, but $10 I'll go on looking for something
hmm
again in a chart or in a magazine or something I
hmm
have. I'm thinking, oh, I got to look at this.
yeah,
I think, why are you looking at it? Don't you know this? Well, I
mm,
do, but the thing is, something always shifts, something changes,
yes, yeah,
right?
yes, definitely. Yeah, but uh,
And you
for
know what?
what?
It's not a no, no. I'm just saying this because this is where I see a lot of people that do astrology. It's always about the money. You know what? The money
Oh,
flows to you if you're on track. It
yes,
does. It does.
yes,
And if you're not on track, you know what? You're going to have to chase it. So
yes.
that's why I think most people chase it because they're not on track.
Exactly. I hated dealing with money. I hated dealing with money at all. But it was like, see, I used to live on Long Island in New York,
Yes. Yeah.
and I used to do a whole bunch of like house parties kind of
Uh
thing.
huh.
Or if
Oh yeah.
I had people coming to the house too, and I had a donation jar there. Only because I didn't want to handle the money. I don't want that to interplay with my spiritual guidance that I'm working with because there's no price for it. Do you know what I mean?
You're a Capricorn.
Yes.
You.
What does
It
that
is
mean?
about money. It is about money.
No, it's
No, no, I don't mean it in that way. But the thing is, see, I don't dislike money. I'll take all the money anybody wherever it comes from. I'll take it,
yeah,
and I'm grateful for it. But the
yes,
thing is, I'm not going to chase it.
right,
Okay,
exactly.
that's what I'm saying.
Exactly. I'm not going to see if somebody put the money in the jar or not because it was in the other room. It was in the room where you come through the front door, and it was totally off to the side. But the thing is, when I was started doing what I was doing, I didn't want to deal with it. So I either had a donation jar or I had my husband there who would take the money before they would come in for their reading. Um, but the whole thing is that I loved doing the readings because I was getting better and better, and people were. Uh, if they didn't put anything in, I would get a check in the mail, and only when I really needed it. Did you know that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
It
Absolutely.
it
And
comes back to you. It finds its way back to you. So there's no real need to actually go look for the funds because if
no.
you need it, it'll show.
You know what?
What?
If you love yourself more and more and more, you know that the money comes to you every time you
Yes.
need it.
Yes. Oh my God, I could tell you stories on that. We'll have to do another show on that. Some of the things that the way things worked out for me is absolutely amazing, and just instills my faith in
Hmm.
my higher source. There's one thing that I gotta say that sort of to me it there's like a little irritation in this. You know how there are people going out and saying that you can manifest anything in your life, which is true.
It's
But it's
true in some ways. Yes, it's true. Yeah.
yes, but it's not going to just come to you. Whatever it is that you're trying to manifest has to be worked on. Action has to be put behind it for it to come about. At least
That's
that's
true.
because it's your thoughts. Okay, when you are concentrating and your thoughts are just that thought, because they're not going to do anything until you bring about action to it, or you choose to act on it, or you choose to let it be, to move on to something else.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I agree with that. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, action is the life giver. Okay, we can think everything that we want. Okay, we can have so many thoughts, but the ones that we act on are the ones that are going to be manifested,
True. But
right?
with that action, you still have to put. If you don't love yourself, it's not going to happen. No
Yes,
matter how much you act, it
yes,
doesn't. It doesn't work.
yes. And I love myself because I I say I'm kind of eccentric, and things that I'm not really sure of, like being a medium. Okay, I'm a medium sometimes because not every time does a spirit come through. If he comes through or she comes through, that's well and good. That's fine, but I can't. You can't tell me that. Please, can you tell me if my Aunt May is here and does she accept my apology? Well, I can't ring out to Aunt May and have her come through and give that. If she comes through, yes, I will give it. Okay, because I don't like to pull in whoever may not want to come in too. It might not be the time for that person to know. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it's how we each individually work with things. We make it our own, and we enhance it, we improve on it, and it takes work. And no matter what you're doing out there, when you start applying yourself to anything, you can accomplish anything. You really can. I'm
Hmm.
and I've done it. Everything but murder. But you know what I mean? Everything is possible. It's just how much you want to go for it. Yeah, how much gusto you got to give to having it. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm. Well, the thing is too, you can want something, you can choose to have something, or you can put it out there. But the thing is, unless you're passionate about it, it's not. It's what's the point?
Yes,
Because I'm not gonna. There are things that I love to do, but I'm thinking, but I'm not passionate about it. So I'll get it. Will I want it? No, I don't think so.
yes,
See, that's what I'm saying. Like people say, well, why don't you do this or why don't you do that? Well, because I'm not passionate about it.
yes.
That's why. Because
Mm,
I'll just avoid it or not do it. I don't. If I don't like something, it's not happening.
yes, yes.
No.
And then when you're going for something, find out as much as possible of what it is, and that's the growing period. That is going to be your opening your door, if you will, to
Mm-hmm.
start knowing so much about a thing, like me with the internet.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
it's it's follow your heart, and sometimes we may be seeking something that we shouldn't be getting. Okay, and you're not gonna.
Why wouldn't we? Why would you? Why should you not get it? Well,
Well, you may get it, but not in the way that you want. Do you know what I mean? That's, to me, is up to destiny. I can go for that, but and that's where the full heart comes in too, behind it. If you don't have a full heart in trying to attain something, and you're just going, well, because yeah, I know some of this, so I just got to learn about this, and that's it, and I'll start making some money or whatever. Okay, but
mm-hmm.
and then you find that IRS is after you. Do you know what I mean? So you have to be careful too what you're seeking to obtain, and to do it with full heart, honesty, integrity. Have all those things applied to what you're seeking to do. Okay, and of
Mm-hmm.
course to harm none. Okay, so.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I think that's about it. What we have. I just want to just say one thing here, that we started this new spin to win, which is going to start happening tomorrow, and I hope everybody's going to come join us, because it's going to be interesting and fun to see who's going to be on that wheel. Okay, so we wish you a lot of luck on that, winning the free reading. Okay, and Jan, you have anything in the last few minutes you got to say? Something.
Yeah, today's the day you can love yourself totally with no expectations, quote unquote.
Yes. Very good. All right. Well, love and light, everybody. Behave, be good, and see you next week. Don't forget tomorrow, spin and win.
Love you.
Love ya. Bye bye.